Hello everybody, Andy here again. Well, as you probably know if you watched any of my videos over the past few months, my life has gone through a lot of different changes and I'm obviously having to change the way that I do things. Some more normal, I suppose, some a little bit different. One thing that I have done recently, and I found that I just got a letter of confirmation this morning, is that I've enrolled even on a Spanish language course. It's only like a first stage, but who knows where it might lead to. It's something I've been meaning to do for so long now, but I've got hope. Now is the opportunity, now is the time to do it. I've got the chance to do it and the time to do it. I probably had the time before, but you know how these things are. When you get sort of pressurised into something, you start to do it. Something else that I've been starting to do, I do all these YouTube videos, as you know, and I've done sort of 650 of them over the last 4 years. I also got my blog, which I try and concentrate on and write things on every so often. Obviously did quite a lot of that when I was on holiday, and I'll put links to that down there. But something else that I've started to do as well, and this is partly because of other people, is I've started to use something called Audioboo. What that is basically like podcasting. It's something that's appealed to me for quite some time, and I did actually start using Audioboo about a year ago, and not say gave up on it, but just sort of it just drifted away, I suppose, time using all these other different forms. Maybe that's when I started doing the blog post instead. And the great thing about it is that you can use it with your phone. If you've got an iPhone or something like that, and I think there's applications for Android type phones, etc. as well, you can use it on your phone and just use it like a little voice recorder. And obviously if you're in range or whatever, you can then upload it straight away, tag it, title it, even put a photo to it and put it straight up to the site. So it's another one of those little avenues, but it's limited to 5 minutes, which, as you can imagine, is something that's a little bit different for me. And I find it not restricting, but well, maybe occasionally, and I have gone over the 5 minutes and had to do it again. But it's another avenue, and it's something that I've been thinking about, all these different, say, mediums that I use, whether it be this, the vlogs, whether it be written blogs, or these now audio podcasts. I can use them for different types of things. Obviously I use YouTube. You see how I use YouTube in lots of different ways. The blog posts tend to be about something that's slightly different, and I've started to use those where I can possibly fit photographs in as well, so to illustrate it, as I did when I was away on holiday. And I thought about that, maybe using it a bit more for that. And as I said, those other topics that I might just want to go on to, and maybe you've covered in previous videos, but there's another slight angle rather than keep repeating myself, which is an obvious problem here. But Audioboo, what I've started to do with that is, apart from those little thoughts that you can use, as I said, because it's portable, if you can use it on the phone, yes, you can use it via the main site on the internet and just sit in front of your computer or whatever and just record the 5 minutes worth or whatever it might be and upload it straight away, no problem. But if a thought strikes you, it's like writing it into a diary or something. You can record it straight away, whether you be on the beach, whether you be walking anywhere, whether you be in your office at work, on the train or something like that. You can just speak into the phone, and if you're worried about that type of thing, probably people will think that you're having a conversation with somebody anyway. And as I said, I got into this by other people. I did this, as I said, once again, about a year ago, and I revisited it, and I was surprised at how many I actually did. I'd done about 10, 15, I think, Audioboos. I thought I'd just done a handful, which shows you something, I suppose. But people like World According to Rich sort of started getting into it as well. Ken RG's on there as well. The Frozen Ghost has made a reappearance and has done a couple of Audiobooks, as has my good friend Gary Anakin 1814, and he started doing more or less daily podcasts about different types of things as well. And that's inspired me. Isn't it strange how these communities sort of move across to different types of things, and we all inspire each other to move on, to revisit it, which is what I've done. And as I said, I've found a different avenue, a different way of using it, and the way that I am using it in some ways is a more personal type of thing. 5 minute little snapshots of things about my life and history, and it's something I would like to pursue a bit more. A couple of examples, I actually did one the other day, which was the 7th of September, which was the 70th anniversary of the Blitz, here the start of the Blitz in London, and my father, who died this year, as you may well know, was there actually in the first day of the Blitz, and something that I actually wrote around and got some history for his funeral, some of which I read out myself. I thought, I could post that as just like a little history snapshot type of thing, and something that's personal. And pretty well received and people seem to like it, and I'm actually going to do another one. But I started to do other ones about my own sort of personal life, little snapshots of history, and I think that's a great way of doing it, because people have said to me, since the job debacle, if you want to call it, trying to think of different things to say, and I've put that sort of out there, and people, why don't you do your life story? Why don't you write something down? Well, maybe this is another way of doing it. I could write elements of it, which I have done to some extent with my blog posts as well. But the audio boo thing, it's quick, it's easy, a little snapshot. I did one the other day, and I intend to do a follow-up about incidents that have happened to me when going to Italy, and it's probably something that I might not relay here, but something that's a little bit different. Another aspect of this, which was pointed out to me by another YouTube friend, Barry Aldridge, something I had thought of, but he brought it up in an audio booth of his own, and I'll put a link to it, my channel down there. Was the great thing about that is so many people on here on YouTube don't use YouTube. They lurk, they linger or whatever, but they don't actually make videos because they're uncomfortable making videos. Not everybody is good on camera, not everybody is happy or comfortable to be on camera. With podcasting, a bit like blogging as well, if you're like me, find it easier to maybe talk than to write, because it takes me quite a long time to write a blog post, generally a lot longer than it would do to do this type of thing. With the audio book, podcasting generally, you don't have to put yourself out there. You can just talk into something. You can look as uncomfortable as you wish, and it's just your voice that matters. You can do it in one take. That's another thing. It's a bit like going back to old school vlogging, I suppose. Your audio booths, yes, some people do edit them a little bit, the professional ones, but it's that 5-minute thing. It sort of gives you that sort of slightly old school sort of way of doing things, and maybe that's what's attracted people like Ken and Gary and Mark to go back to that, going back to basics a little bit, getting back, and it's also that enjoyment, something new, isn't it? We all get a little bit bored sometimes, a little bit staid, a bit of these, maybe doing this, not so much me, but we all know that other people have, and doing this, something new, something exciting, and it's great to listen to other people's, and it does seem to be snowballing, it does seem to be picking up, and maybe this is like the podcasting equivalent of YouTube, and something new for the future. You can follow people in your local area. I appear to be the only person in my local town who does seem to be doing any of these podcasts or audio booths, which I find a bit strange. But once again, as I said, it's starting. So there you go, that's audio booth, something that I'm getting into. At the moment I'm doing one a day. Who knows how long that'll last. You know what the enthusiasm's like with these things. So many other things come along, the topics dry up. But as I said, I intend to use that in a slightly different way. So we shall see where that goes. Anyway, thanks for your time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hopefully, and reading maybe as well. I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.